Peanut Butter says, who did you vote for All-Star? Well, Zach LaVine starter. Zach LaVine. If anyone didn't vote for Zach LaVine, I hate you. I hate you, and don't ever talk to me again. All right, so Temple here gets it off to Valentine. Valentine's got LaVine coming on the left-hand side for three. Take the three. Take the three. Take the three. Take the three. Whoa! Zachy LaVine. See, that's what I'm talking about. He's 2 from 2. Give him the ball. Shoot the damn well ball, baby. Hadn't taken a shot in that first quarter, and now he's hit 2 threes. Only Charlie says, are balls considered a high market? Yeah, the Chicago. Chicago's a big city. Chicago's a big city. So, Chicago, Los Angeles, New York, I guess San Francisco. I guess I'd say San Francisco. Yeah, Golden State. I wouldn't put San Francisco as high as Los Angeles, New York, and Chicago, though, as the big market teams. In regards to players going there because of the city itself. Like, obviously, like, people forget that they're like, oh, the Knicks aren't a big market team. Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. But it's just because the organization and the management has been so shit for so long that, people don't want to go there. If it wasn't for that, people would go there. They're a big market team. The big market teams in New York are in Chicago and Los Angeles. They're really the three. They're only really the 3 big market teams. I can't think of another one who I'd really classify besides maybe San Francisco. Peanut Butter says, if the Warriors aren't doing well, the Warriors aren't a big team. Yeah, bingo. You're 100. That's why I'm saying it's hard to say if they're a big market. But San Francisco is still a big city. That's the whole point of big market. You've got the support from people outside of the country who only know those cities. So you can't really. There's no way you'd say Milwaukee is, or Utah, or Denver. They're not big market teams because they don't have the population size to support them necessarily in comparison to international-wise. So domestically, they're fine. Domestically, Denver and that are all great, but it's internationally that people really do think about in regards to being the viable marketability. Only Shay says maybe Boston. Yeah, I would classify Boston. Yeah, I'd say Boston. I'd say Boston, definitely. They're like the best city in American sports history. Yeah. They forced themselves to be a big market, though. They wouldn't have been a big market if it wasn't for how, ridiculously quality the Boston Red Sox have been over time, the Patriots, the Boston Celtics. Boston is definitely a big market area nowadays. I wouldn't say, if they weren't as successful as they have been previously, I wouldn't say so, but now I do say so, yeah. They always have been because of how successful they got. Satoransky will come on here for the Bulls. And that was 2 free throws made there by the Blazers. It's a 6-point game here. Felicio with the ball. LaVine, come around the screen. You're going to be open, son. Drive inside. That's going to be... How is that a foul against LaVine? Oh, who is that a foul against? Is that a foul against who? Or is that double dribble? Is that double dribble? I'm not sure. Only Chase says Cavs the lowest of market. No, you're not the lowest of markets. Milwaukee would be one of the lowest of markets. But, Cleveland were on the map because of LeBron. That's why I don't understand why Cleveland, a lot of people talk shit about LeBron. It's like, he made you guys who you are. And also gave you your only championship. But they're a small market, 100% now. But they were a big market when LeBron was there. That's because of the LeBron factor. That's going to be 3 here for Temple. He's going to miss that 3. Benny33 says Memphis has a very small market. Yeah, Memphis, Milwaukee, who else? Who else would be... Well, everyone who's not those 3 cities that I mentioned are pretty much a small market. Even Atlanta. Atlanta's a small market team. Philadelphia's mediocre. It's not big, it's not small. Philadelphia and, say, Washington. Washington's not really a place that Americans want to go to, but Australians and people outside of America know Washington very well, obviously. So, Washington, I don't really know how to classify them as, but I'd put them as like a mid-market team alongside your Philadelphia. I'd say Golden State. I'd say San Francisco is a mid-market team. Peanut Butter says New Orleans is low. New Orleans isn't exactly a big market team. No. New Orleans is a great city, fantastic city. Can't wait to go to New Orleans, but I wouldn't classify it as a big market, no. But yeah, if you think outside of those Chicago's, your Los Angeles, and your New Yorks because of the big city factor, yeah, and Bulls, realistically, Chicago's a big city, and everyone in America knows it's a big city, but from Australia, someone who has been to Chicago, I'm telling you right now, Chicago's very underrated. Very underrated. I prefer Chicago as a city than New York. People don't really talk about Chicago as much. They only do in regards to the NBA because of, obviously, the 90s era with the Bulls, with the Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen. Australians don't know who Luke Longley is. A lot of Australians who, they wouldn't know who Luke Longley is. Luke Longley is an Australian who played in that team. But people forget about that. So the point of the matter is that without that Michael Jordan factor, I don't really think the Chicago Bulls are you know, have the respect they do worldwide, but they have a big city there that just doesn't get the credit as compared to your New Yorks and your LAs. Look at the 3 teams that I mentioned. Los Angeles, that's a massive travel destination for everyone outside of America. New York, massive travel destination for everyone outside of America. Chicago, pretty decent. It's difficult for Australians, but it's still a massive area for people to go to from outside of America. All right, so that is a huge factor in making these marketability teams. Only Charlie says, should Seattle and Las Vegas get teams in the future? 100%, man. We all know Seattle is the next inclusion. We all know Seattle's the next inclusion.